There is a common cultural refrain that surfaces in many modern relationships. My money is my money, and his money is my money. This is often presented as a reasonable expectation of the traditional provider dynamic, the idea that a woman's earnings are hers alone, while a portion of the man's labor belongs to her. Because this sentiment is so common, it's often laughed off as a harmless double standard, rather than a specific claim over another person's life. But if we look past the social convention, we find a belief system that reaches much deeper than a simple disagreement over who pays for dinner. To feel entitled to the wealth a partner creates is to claim ownership over the very things required to produce that wealth: their time, their physical effort, and their freedom. This starts with the one principle modern society holds as a non-negotiable baseline: the right to one's own body. We recognize that no person, regardless of their marital status or the length of their relationship, has a right to use their partner's physical form without explicit consent. This boundary is protected with a sense of visceral necessity, as we correctly view any violation of physical consent as a fundamental transgression. This mastery over one's own skin is the essential prerequisite for any relationship that claims to be just or equal. This equation shows the relationship between money and time. While we often say time is money, the reality functions in reverse. Money is actually the transfiguration of time spent in labor. It is the storage of life force that has been spent on a task. For the vast majority of people, earning that money requires the prolonged physical application of the body to perform work. We see this clearly in manual trades, where a bricklayer's earnings are the direct result of hours of physical strain and manual dexterity. The same rule applies to the brain surgeon. Their specialized labor requires the body to stand, focus, and act over time. All money is disembodied labor, a numerical representation of the physical effort a human body exerted to bring it into existence. If money is the abstraction of physical labor, the variables connect directly. Laying claim to another's money is laying claim to the labor they performed to earn it. The result is an entitlement to use their physical body for your desires. Any right that requires the uncompensated labor of another person to fulfill is not a right at all. It is a demand for subjugation. There is an institution defined by the belief that one person is entitled to the labor of another, and it begins with an S. When we strip away the abstraction of the dollar, we see that financial entitlement assumes a level of ownership over a partner that we would never tolerate in any other physical context. This extraction of labor impacts something even more vital than the body. It impacts existential liberty. This is the core of FU money, the practical capacity to walk away from any relationship or environment that no longer serves you. This view of an industrial factory represents the era when individual liberty became inextricably linked to the possession of private property. On a personal level, if a partner feels entitled to siphon off that property, they aren't just taking money, they are neutralizing your ability to act on your own behalf. This chart shows how mobility options drop to zero as a partner's financial surplus is removed. Without the means to sustain yourself, you are far more likely to put up with poor treatment or deteriorating conditions. You become easier to manage because you have lost the power to resist. Demanding a partner's resources is a direct seizure of their autonomy. It is a way of dismantling their freedom, piece by piece, until they are effectively pinned in place by their own poverty.